Live from Trustmark Park. It's just me today for the instant reactions. The only person from 4th Street who came up to watch this matchup between Southern Miss Golden Eagles versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs here at Trustmark Park in Pearl, Mississippi. Mississippi State came away with the victory 10-9 after a 4-run 8th inning to rally back to beat Southern Miss here on this field just behind me. Southern Miss had the lead 9-6 going into that 8th inning, and then they just sort of fell apart there in the 8th on the pitching side and couldn't get the last couldn't get a run in at the top of the 9th. I think just some takeaways from this game. It's just me. I don't have Jackson, I don't have John Bonet, I don't have Charlie, but you can hear from me. I'm Dima Mixon. Thanks so much for tuning into our instant reactions. I think number one, obviously, the concern right now is the bullpen for Southern Miss. I think Southern Miss started Tyler Martin, the Nebraska transfer. Pretty good outing for him. He went an inning, gave away 1 hit, 3 earned runs, which was that 3-run triple by Mississippi State in the bottom of the second when they put up a 5 spot. He had a pretty good outing. Nick Monastir, again, gave up 3 runs to Mississippi State. But Cross Sibley and Justin Storm did well until Justin Storm gave up those 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th. But right now, the real concern is the bullpen for Southern Miss. I think that it's really back to the drawing board. I don't know right now who Southern Miss can trust in the bullpen. I mean, it's just all the players right now are just so inconsistent on the pitching side of the ball. Cross comes in tonight, does well. He pitches no hits, or I don't know about no hits. Sorry, he comes in and 1 hit, no earned runs, and a strikeout, and he gets out of some jams. Mississippi State was very smart on the offensive side of the ball tonight, kind of like Illinois this past weekend. It reminded me a lot. Even Coach Berry just said in the postgame interview that it reminded him a lot of the Illinois on Saturday's game, where just very smart hitting tonight for Mississippi State. But the inconsistency in the bullpen is a huge concern right now for Southern Miss as they welcome Dallas Baptist in to the Pete this weekend in a really, really hotly anticipated series. But I just say, if you're a Southern Miss fan, there's a lot of concern. Scott Berry just talked about in the postgame that he's even concerned about the bullpen, and I don't know how you couldn't be just after you see this and you just see a team just fall apart there in the 8th, right? They get bases loaded with no outs in the bottom of the 8th, and that just can't happen when you're facing an SEC ball club like a Mississippi State, and it's just hard to not allow any runs. And on the vice versa side, Southern Miss is getting players on base. They're just not able to score them. Obviously, something like 48 left batters this weekend by Southern Miss against Illinois, and tonight they had 9 left on base for Southern Miss tonight. So obviously they got that down a little bit tonight, but they weren't really hitting the ball well. Only 5 hits and 9 runs. Mississippi State allowed 2 of those runs unearned because of errors. So in a lot of ways, I would say Mississippi State really, really did control this game for most of the game until Southern Miss was able to get some of those runs with their 2 spot in the 4th and 4 spot in the 5th, and then an insurance run in the 8th. As far as the batters tonight, man, I think you're in a real concern about the 3, 4, and 5 holes. All of them going 0 for tonight. Pato, Sargent, Ewing all going 0 for tonight. Sargent put in a run with a sac fly RBI, but he's really struggling right now. Pato's really struggling. Ewing's coming in for the injured Tate Parker. Tate Parker got injured with a hamstring, so that was tough. And then Slade Wilkes on Sunday injured his hamstring, and he went out tonight. He came in at the very end of the game to hit at the last at bat. Scott Berry said he did that because he felt like Slade was doing well. He was only 50% tonight, so I guess if he got a hit, it would just kind of like jog to first. But I will say one thing about this game was Southern Miss did get robbed of 2 home runs. Blake Johnson hit really 2 good knocks to center field, left field. Probably would have been out at Pete Taylor Park, but here, you're playing on a minor league field, and it's a little bit deeper than a normal field. Mississippi State was able to get 1 out on left field, so they weren't affected by that. But Southern Miss was kind of affected by that. Blake Johnson with 2 deep shots to center field and to left field. He had 1 double. But, at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of concern going forward for Southern Miss, especially as they welcome in Dallas Baptist to the Pete. Dallas Baptist, who is hosting TCU this week or tonight at their home field, and it was going into extra innings the end of this game, and TCU right now is leading 4-1. So it looks like Dallas Baptist is probably going to lose this game to TCU. So they'll have their one loss to TCU coming into Southern Miss this weekend. Just an all-in-all really disappointing night, because in everything that went wrong for the Southern Miss, they were still in every way in a position to win this ball game, even with everything going against them. And just for them not to get this victory is just really tough. It just really leaves a bad taste in your mouth if you're a Southern Miss fan to lose this game tonight here at Trustmark. But they do. So, and it's a long season. Obviously, they can bounce back, but there's a lot of concern in the bullpen right now. A lot of concern on the 3, 4, and 5-hole hitters right now. Just concern all around. But as we've seen before, Southern Miss able to fight back most of the time tonight, except for that top of the 9th inning. So, all in all, tough loss, but Southern Miss looking to rebound this weekend against Dallas Baptist. I think one of the crucial parts in the game, Justin Storm coming in there at the end of the game. Some people argue they leave him in too out, leave him in too long. I just don't know, man. It's just hard right now with the bullpen, and giving up all these runs with this bullpen is just going to be really tough for Southern Miss to kind of try to rebound from, especially going forward. Scott Barry even said it, last year kind of spoiled a Southern Miss fan to not kind of see this action. But, on the other side of the ball, like Mississippi State was dealing with this too, right? So, this isn't something that's just a Southern Miss problem. Every team is going to deal with this, and I think just Southern Miss fans have to start realizing that this pitching staff is not like it was last season, obviously, and it's just going to have some growing pains. They just have a lot of new guys they're trying to rotate in there, and Coach Barry was talking about consistency. Tonight that consistency did not happen. That did not get that consistency, and that's why they lost. So Mississippi State 10, Southern Miss 9 here in Pearl, Mississippi. I'm Dima Mixon. Thank you so much for watching this instant reaction. It's just me. Jackson and John Benet kind of left me hanging here, so I kind of did everything by myself. But great game. If you were able to come out to the game, it was a fantastic ball game. If you're just a baseball fan, great baseball game. Really exciting. And unfortunately for Southern Miss fans, they do not get the victory tonight. But they have a chance to kind of get a revenge weekend series with Dallas Baptist this weekend in Hattiesburg, Mississippi at P. Taylor Park. So be looking forward to that. Jackson Howell and John Benet will be there for that coverage, as we'll be in Pensacola for Southern Miss basketball. So final thoughts on tonight. Really concerned about the bullpen right now for Southern Miss as we were coming into the season. The Liberty Series kind of spoiled us, trying to think that, maybe they're okay, right? But right now, it's not looking that at all. When you face a team that can hit the ball, what's going to happen? And they have a lot of teams on their schedule coming up. Our teams that can hit the ball. Dallas Baptist coming up. Next week, they play Ole Miss on the road, and then they have Valparaiso, I think, the next week. So a lot of interesting things right now, but Southern Miss, good thing for Southern Miss fans is they're still 5-3. They're still fine. They don't look at their best, but they're going to figure it out. Like, I think you have to have faith that they're going to figure it out. They're not going to have all the answers in the first 8 games of the season. Mississippi State didn't have all the answers, so I would say the level of concern right now for Southern Miss baseball is more at a 30%, 40%, unlike some Southern Miss fans are like 80, 90. That's ridiculous. It's not that high. Very much in concern and very much level of concern for Southern Miss baseball right now, but nothing crazy. They just got to figure it out, and Southern Miss fans are just going to have to be patient and be able to work with the team in helping them work that out in the bullpen. But definitely concerned in the bullpen. And the hitting tonight, pretty good. So, I don't think you could really be upset with the hitting, You could be upset with the hitting this weekend because they left so many players on base. But tonight it was about the bullpen, and they weren't able to close the job. So, Mississippi State 10, Southern Miss 9. I'm Dima Mixon from Pearl, Mississippi. Thanks so much for watching our instant reactions. Check us out. Check the story out on sm2media.com. That's where the recap will be. And you can check out on this YouTube channel. We'll post it right here. Coach Barry's interview after the game, so make sure to check that out. But for now, that is it. I'm Dima Mixon. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you this weekend.